Welcome to the year of the fire horse, and this is an official welcome. Yes, I've already made episodes talking about fire horse year, what to expect, but I thought, wait a minute, I just like talking about the fire horse, so I just wanted to touch upon new things, and also because we have officially entered it from February 17, 2026, and this will last all the way until February 5th, 2027. So, my love, this is the time for you to learn to ride a horse. Get your saddle out and time to ride the wild beast. By the way, I just wanted to say that I think horses are some of the most beautiful animal. It's just they are so beautiful, majestic, and also powerful. Beauty and power. So this is the theme of the year. Actually, okay, let's be honest. This is a year that is pretty much promised to be wild. That's the term I just can't stop thinking about. It's gonna be a wild ride. But also I want to encourage all of us to buckle up and stop being so scared and harbor so much fear around this, because the reality is we cannot stop the energy. So the best way for you to actually take advantage of the crazy abundant and energy that's gonna be available this year is to learn to embrace the craziness. So let's talk about the year and why I think it's so important for you and all of us to learn to mount the horse. Not only a regular horse, because I mean some of us are already scared enough about a regular horse on a regular day, but we're talking about a horse that is on fire. I don't know why, I just get so excited about this year. Is it just me? I can feel the energy in the air. So let's talk about the year of the fire horse. This year is gonna be, again, I don't like to make predictive stuff too much. It's not like I'm not approaching this as some sort of wizard who's just like has a wand and just I can see in the future. No, when astrologers are talking about forecasting, what they do is they take the characteristic of the energy, the elements, and then they look in the past to see when's the last time those characteristics were at play, and then they make their deductions. So this is how astrologers, this is how we usually do predictions. So I just want to talk about the energies, and that way we can talk about how to get ready and best prepare and best get through this year, because 2025 was wild for all of us. The ground felt like it just kept shifting, and we couldn't, like, I know a lot of us just felt like we couldn't catch a break. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm over it. And this year, I'm just excited to embrace 2025. I think was really hard for a lot of us because we were holding on to change. We're holding to that last bit for grasping with our dear life and not being willing to let go with the flow and not being willing to surrender. So this, I really do believe that we can all learn lessons from 2025, from last year, and realize that holding on is not going to save us. Actually just going to stress you out more, and it's going to limit you. And the more you hold on, the harder things are going to get to you. We need to learn to catch the wave. It's like there's no point in being stubborn and going to the ocean and just trying to go against the current. Like, why are we doing this? It's easier if we learn to flow down the river at the same direction as the current is already flowing in. And this is what I think this year is all about. 2026, bring it on. Well, the year has already opened with some craziness in the news and all that thing. So I really do believe that, I want you to, I think everyone realizes that this year is no joke. Didn't come here to play around. And this is how we also need to approach it. So we can expect things to be faster because we're talking about the horse. The horse is an animal that is really strong and very fast. But on top of it, it is a horse on fire. That means that things are gonna have a tendency to heat up very quickly. Now this is our mind, our brain likes to automatically go towards the worst case scenario, but we need to reframe things that this can also be a good thing. Let me explain. So yes, things ignite really fast. Now, when it comes in the world of politics, it might not be the greatest things because everyone is on edge. Everything is on, you can probably notice that in the news anyways, where it just feels like things are going faster, and just the leaders are firing at each other, and everything is happening at a rapid pace. However, into our personal life, what you can understand is that this fire, if you can learn to mount it and go with the flow, it can actually be a great energy to help you actualize, to help you manifest a lot of things that you've been working on. So previous projects that you started working on in 2025 or in previous years, this energy can bring extra momentum to help really bring these energies, these projects into life in the physical realm. So this is why I'm saying that it's not necessarily a negative thing only. It can also be a very great thing. This is why I'm always talking about consciousness, because if you're just going on autopilot, well, guess what? It's going to be a hard year for you. But it's very important for us to have awareness this year and not sleep on this, because we want to be able to ride the wave. So we can expect things to be faster, quicker pace. Also, there's going to be more drama. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. More drama, more pressure. And I also wanted to talk about the pressure aspect. I feel like this is a time where you can't expect to sit around and coast through. Life, the universe is going to expect things from you. It's not a year where you can just hide under a rock. It's a year where we need to just just push back your sleeve and get to work. And this is pretty much what is. It's more drama, more pressure, and this can also show as a bit of instability. Not quite instability is not the word I'm looking for. It's more of things changing fast, right? Very, very quick. Think about fire energy. It's quick. And the reason why we're feeling that is because a lot of planets are also coming out of Pisces and entering Aries. I made a few episodes about that before. Entering Aries, and it's that transition from water to fire. Now, I'm mixing a lot of the different elements together. Yes, we're talking about Chinese astrology, and I'm also talking about traditional astrology. I really do like to find, I love to find similarities in all of these things. Also, this reminds me, my brother is really into Vietnamese astrology, and it's been really interesting to talk about him. But I really do believe that all of these things, all of these knowledges, all have pretty much the same seed level. It's just different interpretation. So I think it's just really cool to tap into all these different wisdoms, pretty much all there to guide us and to help us grow into the next better version of ourselves. Because let's be for real, if it was left to us, we wouldn't change anything. Okay, we would just be the same from point A all the way till the end of our life. We wouldn't change a thing, because us humans, we are creatures of habit. So this is also why the cosmos and all of these different energies are kind of there to shift things around and kind of push us through a curriculum. That way we can just there can be flow, there can be, energy needs to flow. So it can't just be static. When it's static, that's when you have things that are growing, things that are just stale. So we need to have movement, and this is what the cosmos, and this is what it's all about, creating movement for our own development and our own progress. So we can also expect a quick cause and effect. What that means, we can really see that in the news. I just think offers one of the best example where something happens here, boom, and then it feels like the consequence shows up almost instantaneously. It's just, before it was a little bit slower, where something might happen and then it would take a little bit of time for the outcome to show. But lately we're seeing the cause and effect just happening at a much quicker pace, and I just think in politics you can actually really see that. So now this is also something that is good, because things are being exposed. However, we need to also be careful about that and kind of tame the beast, because we need to be careful that we're not constantly unleashing and really fast. This is, I think, we also need to learn to balance that fire energy with a little bit of, the opposite, like water, just to, like, because water tames fire, to pretty much find a balance and equilibrium in our personal life, that is. So we need to be aware that if you feel that people are coming at you very, very strong, very fast, be like, take the higher road. And this is why, again, you are actually, tuning into all of this content. That way you can educate yourself, so you don't get swept onto this crazy current. Yes, we want to use the energy to help us manifest things in our life, and to really, like, get productive and get doing and improve our lives. But also we need to be careful. It's that same token with, like, two sides, right? Yes, there's, like, that amazing things that we can use the energy to kind of like a fertilizer, in our projects. But at the same time, we want to be careful, because it's still fire that can burn the house down, and if we're not careful. So this just being aware of that, we want to use that fire to keep ourselves warm, to really improve our life and not let it get destructive. So when it comes to the horse, you can think about, like, the horse element. You don't need to know much about astrology to kind of, like, get an idea about the energy behind the year. The horse, think about the horse qualities, what the horse stands for. Like I said before, I think horses are some of the most beautiful animal. Again, they are very intuitive and very connected, and we want to make sure that we keep fear at bay, or at least, even if we feel fear, we do the things anyways, right? Because this is a time where, if you learn to run with that energy, let me tell you, there's going to be amazing, beautiful things. When you're going to look back a year, like next year, when you're looking back from, like, this year, if you really take advantage of the energy, you will be amazed about all of the things that you can realize using the energy in a good way. So the horse is a group animal. It's a social being. It pretty much, you would always see the horse as, in its herd with its family. It's also about strength, endurance. This is very important for us to remember, because when things get hard, and we will be challenged this year, I won't lie to you, I won't sugarcoat it, but we need to remember that we do have all the powerful energy that is there to help us, to support us. We just need to tap into it. The horse is that animal that has a crazy sheer amount of endurance. It can go long distance and pace itself. As a result, we need to learn to do the same. And so pretty much the theme of the year, to wrap things up, because I don't want to make this too long today, I'm going to make those little, like, shorter segment tapping into the energy of the year. I do have my transit video for 2026 coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. But technically, the theme of the year is that we need to learn to ride the horse. So tame the horse. Yes, it's a horse on fire, but with strength, with courage, we can ride the horse, and learning to tame it, because if we don't do it, we don't want to let it control us, because this is when it will wreak havoc into our lives. So it's a point where you have two options pretty much. It's either you just choose to, like, put your head on, deep in the sand, and, like, you don't want to deal with any of that. But this is not a good idea, because then again, fire is very destructive. We want to be in control and learn to take the reins with two hands and ride that horse. That way we are flowing with the energy, we're taming the wild horse, and we're using all of that fire energy to channel amazing things into our lives. And honestly, like I said, I'm so excited about this year. And I don't know, am I the only astrologer who's excited about 2026? It's just, I don't know. I think it's a great thing. So I wanted to bring out some positivity out there, because too many of us are, like, approaching the year as doom and gloom. Remember, life is a grand adventure. Our soul came here to have an adventure, not just for the fun of it, but to actually evolve. The same way we're doing shadow work, we're doing healing work. Well, guess what? Your soul is pretty much on the grand mission of working on different aspect of it. And pretty much this is why we have all of this cosmic energy and all of these things. You can see it as a training ground, as a big school of life. So we need to there's no losing. Like either way, it's a win-win situation. So just let's learn to have fun with this. Let's all see this as a big ride in the theme park. And then we know at the end of the day, we're going to go home and eat a nice meal, have a nice nap. But while we are in the theme park, let's have fun and enjoy the ride, as crazy as it seems. And it's just happened that the next ride in line right now is the Fire Horse. It's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. But at the same time, if we surrender and we show up with the right attitude, oh my goodness, we'll be looking back and be like, wow, this was a hell of a ride. On that note, my love, remember you can always book a reading, a birth chart reading, or any other astrological services like transits and things like that to know how the energy is going to affect you in particular this year. All of the links are down below. I also added a link if you want to donate to the show, which I really, this cause is like really close to my heart, is to help support teens and youth programs so they can have access to spiritual program, because God knows how, if we had access to knowledge, how this specific knowledge, how it would have really improved our life. So we want to give this to help shape the newer generation. All the links are down below. And yes, that's it for announcement today, and I will see you in the next one. Keep shining bright like a diamond, and remember, fear is not an option, and let's all embrace the energy. Doesn't mean that we're not scared. Of course, it's normal to be scared. We're all humans, but at the same time, try to see one thing you can do to kind of shift your perspective and make this more fun. As a result, I will see you in the next one. Keep shining bright like a diamond, my love. Bye.